yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 644, Brain Candy Podcast.
644.
Sarah and I have begun the process of sort of preparing for our spin-off, you know?
Yes.
Things we got wrong.
Yes. Of
And
which there is a plenty.
Yeah.
Things we
get
wrong,
a lot of
that
things
is.
wrong.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I was telling Sarah how much trepidation and procrastination existed in regards to starting the process of listening to the oldies but crappies.
Yeah.
It was so scary to even begin.
What is it that scares you the most about it?
I think...
Is it like... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think all this time I've tricked myself into believing I'm very self-assured and confident. But the thought of listening to myself being ridiculous and foolish and whatever else wrong.
But that's fun. It's human.
It is. But I realized like maybe I'm not as confident as I thought. Because when I listen, I'm like, oh, I don't like her at all.
What?
Meaning me.
Yeah. Well, the first few were like, I'm very formal. I feel like.
Well, at least you know this
now
really
I'm like, yeah,
was
whatever. This is a Break Any Podcast. We're like, bow, 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 bow. Before we were like, welcome. I'm Susie Meister and I'm Sarah Rice.
But you had never done a podcast before, so I think that's fair to like have to get acclimated. But I had done my own, but I was still just like a goon. It's so embarrassing. But anyway, it'll be fun to revisit.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be fun to revisit.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything you need to share before we begin?
No, I mean, you know,
new?
I'm nothing new under the sun, Suze. I don't know. Did some replanting. Did some had some fun gardening. Got my hands dirty.
Did you? Where do you garden at this house?
Well, you know what I do? It's so funny. You you ask questions that make it so I answer with some of the most bizarre answers to things that I do. Like, you know, just the right questions to ask, I guess, because I don't know. You think about what would be involved in that. Well, consider that where she lives.
Yeah.
No, not really. So I get I have a kiddie pool that I bought from Walmart and I do it in the kiddie pool.
No.
Yes. It's the most, it's big. It's one of those big plastic, just like outdoor, like wading pools, like that you can get. They're like $15. Yeah. Not a blow up.
Yeah. Just
it's big enough for two people can sit in it really, but it's just me. And yeah, bill for two, but, and then you
fill
just
it with
do
soil?
You don't have to, no, you just use that to sit in while you do the gardening. So if any soil spills, it gets in the pool.
Because why? Where else would it go? On the ground?
Yeah, on the ground or like in a garage or like say like Eli has a garden on his rooftop or his outdoor area is on the rooftop and you can't really sweep it off. You're just sweeping it into a corner and then having to pick up the dirt, you know. So you got to do something where to like keep the dirt contained, also not get your patio dirty. Could even do it indoors if you wanted to.
What's in
just
this
a lot
garden?
of plants that I propagated.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that I cut did the propagation.
Is this the time of year for that?
No, it's terrible.
Oh.
This is exactly what I said to Eli. I'm like,
thanks for
every
salting
single
the open
weekend, I
wound.
was like, we keep saying that we need to repot the plants, and we are running out of time. I was like, we have like 1 month to do this, and we are quickly like burning daylight over here. And you know, I said the same thing. I was like, soon it's going to be wintertime, and then you can't do it. And then I tried to do that during winter, and one of my friend's plants, it died because I know it was too early in the spring, like right before spring.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, it really is. And they need like summer, you know, like the real hot. So anyways, that's the only thing going on with me.
Well,
so use a kiddie pool. It's a very good idea. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're so inventive over there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the first one to come up with this, but I probably saw it somewhere. Seems like the smartest thing to do.
Are you still one of those people that's real into Pinterest?
Oh,
You
my
used
God,
to be.
Susie. I still am. I'm on it probably, I'd say like 2 days a week. 2 nights like a week or something.
You have
like
a
during
binge of
like I'll just like.
You'll just pin a bunch of shit.
What'll happen is I will imagine, I'll spend time fantasizing about whatever. One of two things will happen. One, I'll be looking for clothes to buy, like outfit ideas or whatevs, because I've done this new thing.
Outfit ideas.
Well, here's why. Hear me out. I emptied my closet. I got rid of so much freaking stuff. I'm sitting in front of a pile of so many clothes that I was like, I don't wear. Because I saw this hack for people who have ADHD that you should hang up your clothes in outfits instead of.
Get the heck out of here.
So
and you're going to do this?
I already did it.
This is crazy.
I have a whole section of my closet that's just outfits. And so I was thinking about like, okay, and sometimes when I buy clothes, I end up buying the same thing over and over and over. And I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to like find things that go with pieces I like that I already have. So I'll Google like, whatever like item I already own, like pink,
capsule.
or pink. I have a pair of pink jeans. So I was like, pink jean outfits. And so
I cannot believe you own pink jeans.
Yeah. I don't own many other jeans. I need to get more other jeans, but I do have
Do you
pink
remember
jeans.
the day that you bought them?
Yeah, they're very cute. They're like faded pink. They're like kind of wide-legged, cropped.
Take me back. I would, but take me back to that day where you see them. Oh God,
this would be so embarrassing.
Tell me.
I
knew it. I knew it.
I'm walking through Target to buy some dog food.
Oh my God.
And I go, I wonder what's in the clearance section.
Of Target. Okay. And
then I find the perfect pair of cropped, pink, like frayed hem, like pants that just look super cute, and they're only like $8.47. And then I don't know what size I am, but they happen to have two sizes right next to each other, so I buy both of them.
You didn't. You did. No.
And now I have. Wait, they're right next to me. I think I can reach them.
Of course they are. Why are they right next to you? This is the craziest part. Sarah's not even in like her bedroom. She is down in her basement where she records. Why would her pink jeans be down there? This is crazy. If you're watching on Patreon,
I'm dying.
Well, these are real cute. Treat. They're cute. They are.
These are
They're
super
like
cute.
Pepto-Bismol, like proper
they're like
pink.
High-waisted. They're like a good pink color. They're button. Come on. Oh my God, I'm dying. I'm actually dying because now I can't take it anymore. And then, okay, so then I was like, now I have two pairs. Both of them fit, but one of them
fits better.
No, I call my period pants.
No! You are lying.
I swear. And I just now realize that they're also pink, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But they're like, because I get really bloated, okay? So, like, I have to have, like, two pairs of jeans that I save that are just, like, these are the jeans that you only fit into. And now, like, this is exactly what I was saying about how you asked the question.
I mean, so now you're
like,
right.
A regular answer to that is like, I bought it online. Or I saw it in the store and I purchased it. But nope.
No.
And it's not like I have never once gone to Target and been like, I am here to buy clothes. But I always go to Target for something else and end up going home with clothes. So I guarantee I went for something else. Susie, I can't take this.
So great. And now anytime someone sees you in the pink pants, they're going to be like, is she on her period or not? It's so great.
I can't take it. Oh, okay. See, this is the problem. You are cringe. You like are like feel
I'm a cringe
cringy.
detector.
You feel cringy about the things that you said before, and you're scared to listen to those. I feel cringy about the things I just said 10 seconds ago. I don't know which is worse.
It's so great.
Oh, God, I'm crying. Oh,
okay,
this is so funny.
okay.
I haven't even drank any of my wine yet. This is the best part. This is the pre.
It was just delivered.
Sober. Oh, God.
Okay, listen. Oh. The reason that I even asked that question is because every time that I see you post stuff on Poshmark, I look through it and I love seeing what you have for sale and what you've worn and everything. And I always think, she must shop more than I think. Like,
no,
there's so many items.
I know. Here's what happened. I did have a lot of clothes, and I have just kept them all. I have hoarded all of them, which is what.
Right. Okay.
Which is why I am getting rid of them. This pile is humongous. I'm staring at it right now. So,
are you serious? You're going to list all this stuff? It's not even up yet.
It's not even up yet. Oh my God, there's so much. Oh my gosh,
this is so exciting for everyone.
So much, yeah.
Okay, well, whenever you list the pink ones, if you do, make sure you put like in parentheses, not the period ones.
Well, no, here's the funny thing, is that I was wearing them the other day. I was like wearing the regular pink ones, and I had the larger pair in my pile of, I was like, I don't need 2 pairs. That's silly. Just keep one. Sure enough, like today or something, my period's going to start. And I was like,
so you kept the period one.
So I just pulled them from the pile, and I will be keeping both pairs because I love them. And I think that's really funny. And I didn't even realize that they're like everything that's funny about that. It's like I'm a novelty version of like a person.
Yes.
Why is this?
I love it. That is what I love about you. I just want to do
regular things.
No.
Why does my brain do this?
No. I had this sign up in my like junior high bedroom that said, in a world full of copycats, be an original. And that is what you are. You are an original human being. I just said this. There is no one like you. But I do think that it's
going to be like the poo knife thing where we think nobody else has this, and everybody else could be like, I have period pants. God. I have period pants, and I am not going to be alone in this. So really, I am just the one who vocalizes these things that we probably all do. Who knows?
I should probably save this. Well, I'll save the details for our spinoff, but let's just say I realize now why people need a poo knife.
Oh, I cannot wait for this.
I have a child who is getting older.
Oh, my God.
And I think we are in for a real treat. I had a moment where I was like, oh, my God, this is why people have that.
Time and time again that there's a difference between males and females.
Yeah. Anyway, Sarah, I do think, has more in-person shopping going on than I do, but maybe more than most people. I think you're more of an in-person shopper.
Yes. Oh, yes. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Because I got to feel the fabric.
Okay.
And at more places
than
it on and stuff? Target. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a real problem when they shut down the dressing rooms everywhere for COVID. Ugh,
I didn't know they did.
Yes, every store. And stupid Zara. Zara never has the dressing room open whenever they have a sale. So you have to buy the stuff, and then you try it on, and then I'm stuck with it. I'm still stuck with 2 pieces because I missed the return window. They're like banking on people like me.
They shut down the dressing rooms.
Yes.
That is a red flag, people.
Yeah.
Like if they are like, you don't need to try this. Try this item on. You love it.
Yeah, that was it. Luckily, I do love one pair of pants, but
oh my God, this is totally fascinating. Yeah. All right, I'm going to move on now.
You probably meant to talk. There was probably other stories about Pinterest you had, other things that we were going to talk about, and
not
I just
at
totally
all.
derailed your conversation.
I know that you love Pinterest, and I've never been able to figure out like why people love it.
Oh yeah. The whole my whole answer was like fantasizing about some future like outfit, but more than that, like I do it a lot with interior design too, with like what I want my house to look like, and I'm like, ooh, remember this, like. I have a whole section on like how I want books to be displayed in this future house that I've like designed in my mind. in a Pinterest board called "Oh, There Will Be Books."
I can't. You're just, how is it that 7 years later you are still like this fascinating creature to me?
Oh,
It's just amazing.
here we are.
I assume you did not watch it, but have you seen the documentary episode about Manti T'eo?
This is football player?
Yeah,
Okay,
football
I have been saving this because Eli is a football fan.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, I'm going to watch this with him. But I have this saved because, man, does this look interesting. And you know how we love a good sports story, a sports doc. And this has to do with like kind of social like pressures and stuff like that. Tell me everything.
Well,
I haven't even seen it, but I'm just so excited.
We're going to have a little bit of a spoiler alert because to adequately talk about it, I do have to reveal one thing that is crazy. I remember when this story went viral. This was in like 2012, where Manti T'eo supposedly had a girlfriend who died, and then he like dedicated his season of football to her. And then it was revealed that there was no girlfriend. It was a hoax, and it went viral, and everyone went bananas about it. But I thought that he had been catfished, but I definitely didn't know the details of like how it happened and whether or not he was in on it. Because there was all this questioning of like, did he know that this person wasn't real or not? And that's where it left off for me. And so when I pushed play on this baby, I was like, what the fuck happened?
Really?
It is absolute bonker bananas. I can't even.
Wow.
I feel so bad for that guy.
Wait. You feel so bad for the guy?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait.
What a sweetie pie and like just naive and like faithful, you know? So like he's a Mormon. He's Polynesian.
Oh, yes.
But Mormons kind of like fucking took over all the... So he and his family are Mormon, which, you know, often means chastity and virginity until marriage in this very traditional dating idea.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So they begin the documentary with like that thing where like the people come in to be interviewed and they sit down on the chair and you're watching it as the viewer. So you see Manti T'eo sit down, you see whoever sit down, and then you see this woman come to the chair and sit down. And she looks like kind of like the stereotype of a Polynesian woman, like very rotund. Just the way she looked was just like, imagine a Polynesian woman, and that is what you would imagine.
Yeah.
And then she spoke, and I said, that doesn't sound like a woman. And then you find out that this is a trans woman who used to be a football player.
What?
And who is the person who catfished Manti T'eo.
Whoa.
Who now is transitioned and
at the time was a football player. No.
At the time was a football player.
What? Oh, yeah. Whoa.
And very successful, very good. And I think maybe even knew Manti T'eo or was connected in some way, like tangentially.
Wow. Oh, man.
And I just was like, I had no idea that there was this trans woman who had established this sort of online life where she was sort of able to be her true
play
self.
Out that in a character. Yep.
Yeah.
I can see that. And it's just, unfortunately, you know how, so like, you will ask me, you know, as a therapist, do you like, is it okay for clients to do, you know, certain like sometimes when they have like the doll fetish, or like thing. And you're like, what would you tell your client? I said, if it doesn't hurt anybody, if it's like harmless.
Yeah, good point.
Then go for it. Then it doesn't. Yeah. This is not harmless.
Right. That's a good point. Like if you're having to choose between this, go get the doll. My God.
Yeah. And this, I would work with them to see how it could be affecting another person. And I would have to work really hard to increase empathy so that they see how lying and pretending to be somebody else. I don't know if it's a crime, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. So I couldn't do anything. You can't like tell somebody you're being catfished.
This went on for 3 years.
Wow.
And every time he was like, the football player, Manti, was like, hey, I want to meet you. Or FaceTime. Right. It was all the catfishing playbook of like, oh, my phone's not working. Can't you see me? I can see you. But however insane you think the lies were, they were a million times worse. And so much so that after the quote-unquote girlfriend died, and Manti T'eo thought his girlfriend died.
Oh, my God. Because it's probably the only way she saw it as an out. Yeah.
Right. But then she missed him. And came back from the dead.
What?
She called him up and she was like, what? I'm not dead.
What?
And he was like, what?
Oh my God. Could you imagine the freaking, like, what would happen if you thought somebody that was dead and you went through that whole thing?
Publicly, too, not just personally in your own life. Everyone knew his girlfriend died. It was on national news that a member of Congress was like, Manti T'eo, you're making Hawaii proud, like playing for your dead grandma and dead girlfriend or whatever. And so however crazy you think, it got crazier. And this poor guy truly had no idea, and his life was basically ruined. I cannot believe
it's so crazy to me that those kind of cyber, it's kind of cyber stalking or kind of cyber whatever you want to call it, crimes aren't really punishable.
Yeah, like deception is legal, man. In person and online. Deception is legal.
That's true.
Right? So
you can just say, you can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want.
Oh my God. God.
It's crazy. You have to watch it. But that's that same series on Netflix that last year had like all the sports stories. It's called Untold is the series. And they have all those
I think I wanted to start it, but I knew if I did, I would not get up from the couch for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, because they're all great.
Yeah. I don't even think I've opened this Pandora's box yet.
Normally the stories are more obscure, like like the hockey team that was started by the mobster, and or the female boxer who ended up being,
yes. I remember that one.
All those where you don't really know them to begin with, but then you get into it. Yeah. Whereas Manti T'eo, that was viral. Wow. That was a viral situation, but the press didn't follow up on what actually happened in the same way they treated it in the first place. And the reason I think that they were so into the story to begin with is because there were suspicions that he was gay. That he pretended he had a girlfriend because he's gay, which is not true. And so in sports, you can't be, And so...
Oh, but really he just wanted to abstain from having sex because he was Mormon, so everybody was, okay.
Yeah, so he never met her because it wasn't...
There was a lot of him having this girlfriend. There was a lot, invested in it, him invested in
well, and because she is Polynesian also, Samoan, I think, there's a lot of trust from that too, that we have shared community and culture, and all the references are the same, and it built trust.
Yep.
Anyway, it is bonky. You have to watch it.
So good. I can't wait. Yes, it's saved. It's one of the things where I was like, ooh, okay, I'm going to put this on the...
Yeah, Eli will love it too. It is just something else. Okay. Here's a question. This is not a news story. This is from Peg Meister, my mother.
Oh, fun.
And we don't agree on anything like in terms of politics or religion, but like every so often there will be something that overlaps. And I'm like, I wonder if Sarah and the Brainiacs will share that point of view. My mom was at the dentist, and it's one of those things where, like, in the building there are other offices. And so she asked where the restroom was, and the lady told her it was down the hall. And Peg went in and didn't know that it was unisex. It wasn't told to her that this was just the same bathroom for everyone. And it wasn't just a singular bathroom for one person. It's come one, come all, but unisex.
Okay.
Stalls. So stalls.
Yeah.
And Peg's in there peeing, and she heard somebody come in, and it ended up being a man. And she was just like surprised by it, and sort of like, they probably should have told me. And I kept like thinking about it, and I was in agreement with her, but especially because there were urinals in this bathroom right by the sink. So if she had come out of the stall and was going to wash her hand, and some man's dick is out.
Not okay.
Okay. So I just want to know, don't you agree that if it's a unisex bathroom, 100%. Urinals gotta go?
Gotta go.
I don't want to see anybody's genitalia.
There's never a situation where, no, I'm not into it. Right.
Yes. Okay.
And I think about, like, there just needs to be an announcement. Like, there needs to be some sort of signage or indicator that this is a unisex bathroom, because there is definitely different stuff that I do in the mirror, or like in that. I mean, I've like fixed my clothes where I got to like reach up and like adjust a bra strap or something. I don't want anybody like walking.
It's all intimate. It's all intimate.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if it's unisex, but I do mind if somebody's dick is out where I'm trying to wash my hands.
Absolutely.
Or any genitalia. Right. Of any kind.
Right. Could you imagine if they put a woman like someplace where you would squat right next to? No, it'd be crazy.
Like, have they just not thought this through at this dentist office? Why would you make one bathroom and then make it multi-people, multi-person, and add a urinal?
I don't feel like we should be doing a urinal in any situation other than a sporting arena. And even then, it's like, ugh. Why? Why are we doing that? Why can't you just use the bath? What's the...
Well, it's a speedy delivery. I know that. They love that.
Yeah, but like... if that's the case, then we don't. I don't like it.
Okay,
there's no like female equivalent. It's not so like if you have a bathroom and you have like 4 stalls and like 3 urinals. That's like 7 people can go to the bathroom, but then the women's one you just have 4 stalls.
Yeah, get those fucking urinals out.
That makes sense is if there's like a significant difference in the ratio of males to females, you know.
Okay, but then have a separate section for urinals, because most women can't use a urinal.
Right.
And so,
exactly. That I mean, I just think like, what's the why? Why are we putting them in there?
Of all people for this to happen to, it really shouldn't have happened to Peg.
Oh my God.
I don't like it.
God. I don't want to see what any guy does after he pees, because they all have like, it's fine, but like, I don't then want to then think about, you know, they all have like an after peeing ritual, like how many times they shake it, what they do to it after, like something. Every single one. And I do not want to be taking mental inventory of some random dude's after pee ritual.
Yeah.
Just because like that's how my fucking mind works. Once I see it, I can't unsee it. So like
we
I'd
don't
like to not see it.
I don't even know who I'm mad at. Like I don't know who to be mad at about this.
Probably signs. Lack thereof.
No, I'm mad at whoever thinks a urinal goes in a unisex
that I
bathroom.
agree with. A urinal does not go in. That is the question here. Like that's all we're at. Does a urinal go in a unisex? Does a urinal go in a unisex bathroom? Yes or no?
Maybe behind a door, you could send them all back there. behind a door.
Behind
one
a
big
door.
door.
Yeah, but then every time they have to open it and close it, and then it's no.
Okay, but at least in a corner, not by the sink, for Christ's sake. I don't want to see the
No,
dick.
not at all. We're drawing the line. It's yes or no. It's not in there. We don't need them in there. They need the same number of ew. Okay. I just thought of something though.
Tell me.
If it's a unisex bathroom and I have to share a bathroom with men who pee.
Yep. It's going to get grosser.
They're going to get that on the seat.
We're screwed.
They need a urinal.
They can have a urinal.
I don't want them. You're right. It's got to be a separate section.
Urinal
That's the
area.
only answer to this. This has not been thought out at all. Who did this?
It's the thing where, you know how like restaurants now like don't give you the straw and they act like it's because it's environmentally friendly. Yeah. It's like that. This is just like, we only have to make one bathroom now because it's unisex, but then they like don't give a shit really. Right. They're just like, put it all in there. Pads, tampons, urinals.
I don't.
Have at it, everybody. Good luck.
Yeah. Funny, they always have urinals, never have pads and tampons that
Isn't that interesting?
Working, so,
Okay. Something to think about.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I do love though.
Please.
I love Green Chef food.
This reliable, well-sourced, healthy.
Okay. Well, speaking of Peg Meister, Peg is she says it with a Pittsburgh accent. So when we go out to eat or whatever and she wants the salmon, she'll always say, do you have wowed Alaskan? Wowed. Like it's wowed, but she means wild. Wow. But she has a Pittsburgh accent, so it sounds like she's saying wowed. But Green Chef has wild Alaskan salmon, wild caught sockeye salmon, and they have
wild Alaskan salmon.
And I'm wowed by it.
Yeah.
And they have organic chicken, organic ground beef. It's super high quality products. And let's look at some of these recipes, shall we?
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me hungry. Yes.
Garlic mashed potatoes.
I'm already
hot roast style gravy beef tenderloin. Pecan crusted salmon with creamy kale and roasted kale.
That's the one.
It's so good. And you think, how could I make such a fancy meal? You can.
Yeah, easy.
You actually can. They have a bunch. They have like 24 recipes that you can choose from each week. So you can mix and match. You can find different preferences. Like maybe one week you're vegan.
Yes.
Maybe next week you're keto, whatever. You can do that. And you can customize it in that way. They send you the ingredients right to your door. Number one meal kit.
No food waste.
No food waste.
Love it.
What are you, vegan, vegetarian, whatever. Time-saving recipes, and it's really delicious. Yes. Pre-made, pre-measured, everything. Yes. Let me give you the deal. Hold on. Let me find it. Go to greenchef.com/braincandy135 and use code braincandy135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. Go to greenchef.com/braincandy135 and use code braincandy135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free.
Deal.
I know. You're welcome, people.
You're welcome.
All right. So I'm glad we settled that about the urinal thing.
Yeah.
Did you see in the New York Times about the black professor? He is a professor that specializes in sort of like inequality in the housing market.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And he got his house appraised. It was appraised at 400 something. And that didn't sound right because that's basically what he bought it for many years ago.
Yeah.
So he had his white professor friend come. Mm-hmm. They took down all the black pictures, black family members and all that off the walls. Mm-hmm. Took down like the Black Panther art.
They took down that was like an indicator or like a signal
identifier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was then appraised at $750,000.
Oh,
almost twice as much.
My God,
unbelievable.
This is awful.
Yes, I mean
it's 100% racism. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
That is all it is. And I bet this would be consistent, like a lot of different appraisers would do the same thing.
Do you think when they do it that it's unconscious bias, or do you think it's sort of like, I hate these people and I want to screw them?
No, I think it may be unconscious.
That is a big difference.
I don't know. I have no idea. Where is this?
I don't either. This was in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
So, for example, one of the differences was they have like a busy street close by, and the first appraiser knocked off $50,000 because of that. But that's not industry standard. Industry standard is like $15,000 or something.
That seems intense. Yeah. That seems like you're just discriminating.
You're looking for ways.
Yes. Yeah.
And the appraisers, the whole system's messed up because they have so much leeway. So, like, they look at comparables. So, like, in the area, a certain distance, what did this house sell for that's similar? But they do have some leeway in terms of, like, which houses they choose.
Right.
And so the first appraiser picked all these, like, fixer-upper garbage homes. And then the second one picked ones that were similarly updated. And so...
it definitely feels like... Yeah, it's not good. Well... Oof.
Either way, it's racist, whether it's conscious or unconscious.
Either way. And I'm like, I feel like, if I were a person of color, I would only want to have an appraiser who was also a person of color. I would not trust any white person to be
good luck finding one.
That's the part, like, it goes so deep, because then you say that and you're like, this is why everything has to be changed systemically, because the people who even teach the information, then the people who are in those positions, and then you can say even the tests that the people who took to get where they are, like those are inherently racist deep. Too. So it really fucking deep.
Yeah, I think it was like fucking 5% of appraisers are people of color or non-white people. So it's so hard to even find somebody like that. And this is a professor of this very thing.
Right.
So imagine people who have fewer resources and knowledge about this particular situation, redlining and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So that was in the New York Times. They're suing the appraising company, but we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll make people more aware of it, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me open
That's what they need is the people, like, just the people who are, and to have, like, an awareness that they're doing that could be happening, and just make sure that they're being fucking equal.
Well, and it's really sad that you would even have to take down pictures of your own family.
Yeah.
Just to sell your home or whatever. Okay. This was sent to me by a Brainiac who heard us talking about the goldfish art exhibit.
Oh, yes. That guy.
Okay. And this one was done
I'm going to make sausages or meatballs out of my own fucking fat.
Wait. Was that the same guy?
Yeah. Because he did the goldfish one and then he did that one.
Well, this one, she said that story reminded her of this. This was in 1974. And you've definitely seen this artist. Her name is Marina Abramnovic. She's Serbian. And do you ever see that viral clip of, like, she sat at a table and just, like, stared at people for a certain period of time, and then the next person would come and she just stared at them and they would lock eyes. And then eventually, like, her former lover sat down at the table, and it's just like one of those clips that people shared a lot. Anyway, it's her. And this is in 1974. She had placed like a table of 72 objects. Okay. And she said people, like, there was a rose, a feather, perfume, honey. But then there was also scissors, a scalpel, metal bar, a gun loaded with a bullet.
Ah, yes.
And she stood there for 6 hours and said anybody could do whatever they wanted with those 72 objects to her body.
Oh my God.
And, like, it started, as you might imagine, very tame. Like,
oh my God.
Like putting a rose on her, like using olive oil on her or something like that. And then over time, it's like someone would try to...
everybody's got to one-up the person before them.
Yeah. So they started like touching her intimately. Then eventually they used the razor blades to cut off all of her clothes.
Oh, God.
And then they slit her throat.
With?
I guess the razor blade, one of the items. They put like thorns in her stomach. They...
Oh, my God.
Hit her with some of the tools, sexually assaulted her. And then at one point, somebody held the gun to her head, which had a bullet in it.
Oh.
And she was fully prepared to die for this art exhibit. And then, like, some of the other people in the audience, like, intervened and then, like, had a brawl with, like... Because the person was like trying to put her finger on the trigger to kill herself.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Lord
of
the Flies type.
Oh my
stuff.
God!
And
this is, in a way, in a way, this is what art is kind of for,
right?
That there is art is kind. This is fucked up to say, but like art is a way to kind of like do an experiment without adhering to the rules, laws, and regulations of an experiment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Right. They don't have to be ethical.
This is so unethical.
That's interesting. I didn't think about it like that. That's so true. Because you do see, like, how does human behavior...
Right.
Manifest.
And we saw the other version of like the fish where we said, oh my gosh, that person afterwards is going to like need some freaking counseling because they just like murdered a fish without like wanting to, and like.
Here's what she said afterwards. What I learned was that if you leave it up to the audience, they can kill you. I felt really violated. They cut up my clothes, stuck rose thorns in my stomach. One person aimed a gun at my head and another took it away. It created an aggressive atmosphere. After exactly 6 hours as planned, I stood up and started walking toward the audience. Everyone ran away to escape an actual confrontation. They were unable to face her as a person.
Oh my gosh.
It's profound.
It is. And in a way because you've placed yourself as this, you've objectified yourself, you've turned yourself into part of the scene. Yeah. People have then dehumanized you and treated you in like an object, which then is fucked up about how we treat. Oh God, it's really messed up. Yeah.
I mean, this to me feels more like art than the fish thing though, because it sounds crazy, but at least she consented to it. She designed it and agreed to and believed in this project. Those fish didn't.
I really want to see what this table looks like. What's her name?
Her name is Marina Abramovich.
Yeah.
Or Vic.
Serbian conceptual artist. Got it. Wow.
Does she look familiar to you?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
She does.
She's famous now, but
she does.
At that time,
as an older person, she looks famous. Yes.
But you would think, I mean, we've participated in the challenge. We've done things that involve like groupthink syndrome and mob mentality and all that.
Oh, I see.
So you would think like, wow. You would think this wouldn't shock us, but like, what do you think it is about human beings that cause us to push that line and keep seeing what we can get away with, seeing what will be tolerated?
I was thinking about teenagers the other day and how there is this age. I was thinking about like the things I did when I was a teenager and how there's this natural period of time where we are, I don't know, like almost designed to like push the line and like see where the edges are and like make kind of dumb mistakes while we still are like have other people support us to kind of like take care of us, and how that's kind of like an important part of the learning process.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard, like where that line is different for everyone. And I wonder if there's, I don't know, I think maybe in a world without a lot of control, like maybe that's partly why teenagers do it. It's like they I have control over this, so I'm going to like control like my limits, like how fast I'm taking this car, whatever they do. Like my brother like freaking totaled my mom's car when he was 15 before he even had a driver's license, like seeing how fast you can go in a neighborhood, like, you know, kind of pushing it. And like, but I feel like there's in a world where, or I feel like the less control we have over our lives, the more likely we are to try to get that control in any other way that may be very unhealthy. And I feel like when that opportunity is given to like feel like you're in control, that for people who are often unfamiliar with that feeling or feel out of control in many areas, like they go too far, like they don't know where the line is.
It's so disturbing.
Not often, but like not often at all, but like like in this situation. And then like,
especially probably because it's sanctioned, like that she gave them this, you know, carte blanche to.
And like if somebody says you're allowed to do whatever you want with these items, I feel like people are going to try to do the most extreme things with those items. Possibly you're going to have those people who are like, well, I want to see what I can do with these extreme things.
Let me propose a hypothetical, like theoretical thing.
Fucked up.
Let's say that she had like a sign up. I think it said, here are 72 objects, blah, blah, blah. Like it explained the exhibit. And I think the final line was, you know, I take full responsibility for those 6 hours from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. If somebody did shoot her, do you think that would be, you couldn't go to jail for murder for that?
Just because somebody says they take full just because somebody says you can kill me does not mean that you then have permission to kill them. Yeah,
that's true.
So you can't. No.
Yeah, you're right.
You, in a way, you're consenting, but you have to. You're consenting to what falls within the lines of the law.
Yeah, you're right, because even if we included it under assisted suicide, some places that's not legal. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting.
So it's whatever is legal within the eyes of the law there.
Thank you to Natalie, the Brainiac, who sent that to me, because I am shocked that I'd never heard that since it's so old. It's so long ago.
It's very
That is really troubling how it escalates too. It's not like people directly go for the gun or the razors or whatever. Right. Like they, it's the frog in boiling water thing.
And I, you know, now you can, I don't want people to get angry about this, but I heard this from basketball fans who were talking about what team has the worst, like most aggressive fans, like of basketball fans that are the worst. And I heard it's the Utah Jazz.
Right.
And people say that because there's not a lot of outlets for like anger or emotional expression or like these negative emotions, that given an opportunity and an arena or setting that allows for it, they like go all out, and like maybe because it's a little repressed, like don't know where the line is. And so I wonder how this experiment would change based on where you did it, when you did it, who you did it with. And if there were people who are very free, and like if you did this with a bunch of like tattoo artists and piercers, I wonder if they would be so inclined to like do harmful things if you did this with people who are like, I don't know.
Like exposed to more violence or
whatever.
Boundary pushing type stuff.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have been as appealing, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I'm just saying it would be interesting to see how that would change because the audience and who's participating is such a big part of the outcome.
Yeah. It has to change. Context.
What women would do
everything.
to women is much different than I think what a man would do to a woman given no limitations.
It's interesting.
God, it's fucked up to think about. Makes for a really good article. I get it. I mean...
Hers didn't offend me or upset me as much as the fish.
Me neither.
Which I guess is weird, but...
Yeah. Because they're like, they know what they're doing. You don't know that the blender's on.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay. I watched on, I think, HBO. They have a documentary about the Princess Di. It's called The Princess.
Oh, yeah.
This was so interesting because, every era sort of has a style of documentary that exists. Mm-hmm. And you can see like patterns. If you watch a lot of them, you see like what's in style. Mm-hmm. And this one was so different because there was absolutely no people talking to the camera. None. Uh-huh. It was just footage from the moment that Princess Diana came on the scene dating Prince Charles up until she died. And so they're playing like news footage. They're playing interviews, paparazzi footage, all of that. And like the words that come out are from things that have already been broadcast. So there was no like talking head. There was no person sort of driving the narrative whatever besides the director and the editor. And like, you would think this is a subject that's been sort of talked about to no pun intended, to death. Yeah. But because she was so beloved, I mean, I feel like we've just talked about her ad nauseum. Yeah. Yeah. But it was still so compelling because you forget.
Yeah. And there's a lot that I don't know. I was like right at that age where I was almost so young that a lot of the details and what I think how aggressive the paparazzi really were was something that was kept from me. I know one of my mom's good friends in Italy is an Italian paparazzi guy who I want to say was there when she died. And so she would always talk to him about it, like, she kind of like told me what it was like and how aggressive they were and he would talk about that. And
wow. Well, if he was there, I mean, he's certainly part of the problem.
Oh, for sure he is. His name's Rino Badilotti, and he is like,
that's I feel like what he does.
Yeah. Well, his name is, he was referred to as the king of paparazzi.
Good Lord.
Yeah, he totally is part of the problem.
I'm just like everyone else. Like my instinct is to be very condemning of what they did because it was very disturbing. And at the funeral part, or sort of like the memorial where like the public just sort of like congregated to like mourn her death, this one person, like there was someone filming it that I'm watching, and then this guy in the crowd was like, you looked into the camera, was like, you're the reason you did this, like the media. And then I thought, but the only reason they're doing it is because we all buy it.
Right.
We buy the magazines.
Also, yep.
We read TMZ. We all watch the footage.
You're so right.
It's not the fucking paparazzi of the media. It's also consumers.
Yep.
And so that's the part I think people just don't really want to. Who is the onus on? Who should be responsible? The establishments that profit from it, or the people that can't get enough?
And didn't it change after this? That there were like some rules that the royal family had about...
Well, they made a deal.
Right, made a deal.
Yeah. They said, we'll give you access at specific times. We'll provide some pictures that you can use. Then you won't be able to follow us.
It shouldn't be allowed that we can do that.
Yeah. That is,
seems
I agree with
crazy.
you. It should be legislated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need things to catch up with how fast, like, and it's too easy for overnight a random person to become a celebrity. So you need this law to be like this has to, it can't be only reserved for royalty or for celebrity. There needs to be no different. It's just, you can't take random pics and stock and then like sell. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't even care if you're like a person in the public eye. Technically, we all fucking are now.
Just to refresh your memory, this is a woman who was 19 years old when she got engaged to Charles, who was 11 or 12 years older than her. So he's like 31 and she's 19. And her uncles or somebody was like, we can vouch for her virginity. Like, this was still that era where it was like she has to be chaste. And he didn't love her. He loved Camilla. He only married her because she was a suitable person to be queen or whatever. And it was just so disturbing to see the ways that the system caused it. The most profound line I thought from it was somebody who said, when you put a modern person, meaning Diana, into an ancient institution, and it destroys the modern person, you have to start asking why we have this institution. It is so outdated and archaic. Even just the fact that her children were not allowed to cry at the funeral procession. Like, just this sort of... They basically were raising sociopaths. That is what you're doing when you do that. When you say you cannot have normal human emotions, you're raising sociopaths.
You're raising people, when you repress one thing, that they're going to take it out on people and not know how to control those emotions and other things. Exactly like we were talking about. Like, what's her name with the people? Come on!
Yes. And when you think about Charles, who clearly kind of has these, like, at least a lack of empathy, and Andrew, who is a known alleged child predator, the queen did a great job doing her job for the monarchy and raising sociopaths. Thank God Diana stopped the buck and has two kids that, like, seemingly at least have an understanding of, you know, guilt and compassion, at least on some level. Oh my God. It's so disturbing, Sarah.
It really is. Oh, Lord. Yeah, we need to get rid of that whole thing.
I said to Adam, because, you know, he's English, and I was like, it's so bizarre, this whole situation. And we were saying how, especially because they don't even have power anymore.
No, right. It's like they just have a bunch of houses.
Parliament.
Right.
It's not like it used to be where the monarchy was actually how they ruled.
Right.
This is all just
for show.
Fucking no reason.
This is for, like, for fun parades. But come on. Just sell commemorative plates.
Yeah. And I love it. You know me. I love Meghan Markle. I love the whole scene. It's a fascinating world. But, like...
Come on.
Let's evolve.
Right. Right.
Maybe when she kicks the bucket, Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, I think so.
And Charles.
Yeah. This is like everybody still having that Thanksgiving where, like, we all still get dressed up and everybody has, like, their place seats at the table just because grandma wants that. And then grandma dies and they're like, all right, we're eating in front of TV. We're watching football. We're eating TV dinners in front of the television now. And wear whatever you want.
I hope so. But I thought that about racism. And I was wrong. I was waiting for a generation to die that apparently I was wrong about what was happening with racism.
I think you're correct. That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, I really convinced myself, we just have to let those people die off. It's like, oh, no, they indoctrinated a whole new generation.
Correct. Oh, that's
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Anyway, let's wind down,
all
shall
right.
we?
Well, that was fun.
Another uplifting episode of the Break Caddy podcast. You're welcome.
You learned something.
I learned a lot about Sarah's pink jeans.
Oh, my God. That was so funny. That was so funny.
I bet you
got it
all can
good.
relate.
Yes.
I bet if they don't have period pants, I know a lot of people have like my quote fat jeans, like
Yeah.
those kind of things where they like depend on what size I am,
Yeah.
they keep them all.
Yeah. I'm more bloated. I'm going to
Yeah.
definitely
Like I
be
think
wearing
that's,
those.
it's a woman human experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are not for sale on Poshmark because I am keeping those, but a bunch of other stuff will be.
What about Manti T'eo's?
Oh my God.
Insane.
I can't
By the
wait
way,
to watch that.
That trans lady that catfished him, that bitch is not sorry.
Really?
She's sorry, but she's not
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, I can't wait to see it just for the apology, not apology.
She's not sorry.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because I think she had a lot of hardship.
Yes, I think this is like, oh yeah, these are the same kind of people who probably
so
made me feel awful. I know what they say about people like me. Yep. Oh, excuse me.
In my experience, I, as you know, had a trans stepchild, and in my first marriage, and that experience of being isolated and confused, all the stuff that goes with. Mm-hmm. Do you need to let it out?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Because I've been there. I'm just giving you the free pass. That experience of isolation and confusion and all that stuff, it can make you out of touch with, maybe like social behaviors that are acceptable, social norms.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And I think that's what was cooking here, where you're just so in your own head.
There's a lot of other things that you're worried about. Yes, for sure. They're like survival and I don't know.
Just coping. Because it's terrible.
Yes, takes center stage.
Yeah, and so other people do not, and then you can create problems sometimes.
That makes sense.
Anyway, I don't want Sarah to keep coughing. I feel bad. So let me just do the roundup, which is that we had a unisex bathroom debate. So I want to hear what you guys think about that.
Definitely want to hear about that. Yep.
The Black House appraisal racism.
Yep.
Then the crazy art exhibit with 72 nightmare.
Look up that picture. That picture is crazy. Of all the items.
Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Will you please check out our merch and see if you like anything?
You will, I promise.
And check out our Patreon, which is where the video of Sarah's pink pants will be.
Yeah. Oh
and
my gosh, just that hilarity. Oh, it's so funny. I think about those videos. They are so funny.
And all of our reality TV content. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.